I can't laugh hard enough because this is bullshit right here. I mean, this can only happen to rich white men. I repeat, rich white men. Because how does a man who is accused of serious allegations of making a minor, Virginia Jeffrey, his sex slave, who was sex trafficked to him by Jeffrey Epstein, and he walks off into the sunset by giving up all his titles? I'm just going to give up all my titles and putting the duty to my family and my country first. Look at me. Do you know how entitled that is? Is this meant to be some form of justice? This isn't justice. He's not experiencing this. Look, this is not suffering. The man is still going to be existing as lavishly as he did before. Not appearing in public ceremonies is neither here nor there. This is all about protecting the royal family's image, not as a form of remorse or repentance for what he's done wrong. He keeps denying these allegations, right, of having sex with a minor and quite frankly, taking advantage of Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking. But if he really wanted to clear his name, he had multiple opportunities to do so over many years in a court of law. But him and his family chose not to do so. Why? Why? You know why it has a very long tail? Because it has a tale to tell. And that tale is that it was probably highly likely, on the balance of probabilities, that he will be found liable. So Mommy Dearest gave him money to go settle with the victim. And now he's being presented as being, just above, that he's put his head above it all and giving up all of this precious title because of his duty to his family and to his country. Bullshit.
You know what's wild? Every time I think the royal soap opera can't get more ridiculous, they outdo themselves. And this time, we're not talking about Prince Harry or Meghan Sussex. No, the media's favourite punching bags are innocent today. The spotlight, at long last, is on Prince Andrew, the Duke of Entitlement himself. And leading the charge, none other than the fearless, fiery Dr. Shola Mos-Shogbamimu, the woman who doesn't need royal permission to speak truth to power. She just dropped a truth bomb so loud, it probably rattled teacups in Buckingham Palace. Dr. Shola said, and I quote, "This can only happen to rich white men." And I had to pause my coffee for that one, because where is the lie? Let's break it down. Prince Andrew, a man accused of horrific acts involving a trafficked minor, Virginia Jeffrey, somehow manages to waltz into semi-retirement instead of facing full accountability. No prison time, no court showdown, no stripped assets, no frozen estates. Just a little stepping back from public duties, and poof, problem solved. Only in royal land, people, only in royal land. Dr. Shola didn't hold back, and she's absolutely right. What we're witnessing isn't justice, it's performance art. It's a PR illusion of punishment crafted to look respectable while protecting the palace. They told us Andrew gave up his titles for the sake of his family and his country. Oh, please. You can't call it sacrifice when the man still sleeps on a silk pillow in a mansion owned by his mother, surrounded by staff, protected by the very system that enabled his downfall. Let's be real. Giving up a title doesn't mean much when you're still rich, still protected, and still getting your royal perks behind closed doors. And Dr. Shola said it straight. This isn't suffering. This is privilege with better PR. Meanwhile, the same tabloids that are now calling Andrew brave or honourable for quietly stepping down were out here dissecting Meghan Sussex for daring to hold her baby bump in public. Meghan touched her belly. The press screamed, "Attention seeker." Andrew touched scandal. The press said, "Let's give him privacy." Make it make sense. It's the royal double standard on steroids. If Meghan had even 1% of Andrew's scandal attached to her name, they'd still be writing front-page smears 5 years later. But Andrew, the man's practically rebranding himself as Mr. Reflection and Renewal. Please, and don't forget, Andrew had multiple opportunities to clear his name in court. He refused them all, every single one. Instead, his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, quietly dipped into her personal fortune, largely funded by the people, to help him settle with Virginia Giuffre. That's not accountability. That's hush money, dressed up in royal robes. Dr. Shola pointed it out perfectly. This was never about remorse or justice. It was about preserving the brand. The monarchy isn't a family, it's a business. And Andrew's mess was just another PR problem to sweep under that Buckingham Palace rug. And oh, how the rug is thick with secrets. Now here's where the hypocrisy really hits you like a royal carriage. When Harry and Meghan said, "Hey, we just want mental peace and a normal life," the British press acted like they committed treason. They were called ungrateful, disrespectful, money-hungry, all for daring to set boundaries. But when Andrew steps back because of a literal trafficking scandal, the palace praises him for his graceful exit and sense of duty. You can't make this up. As Dr. Shola said, this entire charade is about protecting the royal family's image, not the public's trust. Every move, from that disastrous BBC interview to the quiet settlement, was about managing optics, not truth. And here's what's even crazier. The palace PR machine and certain tabloids will twist themselves into pretzels to defend Andrew, but they will never give Harry or Meghan that same mercy. Harry served his country, built charities, and continues to champion mental health and veterans through Invictus. Meghan has been empowering women and fighting for equity long before she ever wore a tiara. But you'd think from reading those headlines that they were the ones being investigated by the FBI. And that's the heart of Dr. Shola's message. Enough is enough. Enough of protecting the privileged while punishing the principled. Enough of shielding predators while shaming truth-tellers. Enough of the palace pretending to be the moral compass of Britain when it can't even hold its own members accountable. Because let's face it, if Andrew's name were Harry, or if Meghan were even remotely tied to a case like this, the press would be camped outside their door 24/7 for years. But since it's Andrew, they whisper, they deflect, they move on. That's not justice, that's privilege. Dr. Shola's passion isn't anger, it's righteous truth. She's calling out the imbalance, the system that says power and whiteness are shields against consequence, and for that she deserves applause, not backlash. Meanwhile, Meghan Sussex has been a target of hate simply for existing, for breathing, smiling, or daring to have opinions. Andrew? He gets quiet rehabilitation and an open path back into polite society. And people still ask why Harry and Meghan walked away? Come on! You can't ask two people to stay in a system that rewards silence and punishes integrity. Harry saw what that palace life did to his mother, Princess Diana. He wasn't about to let history repeat itself with his wife and children. So yes, Dr. Shola said what needed to be said. She didn't sugarcoat. She didn't dance around royal titles. She looked the establishment in the eye and said, "The emperor has no clothes." And that's why the establishment fears her, because truth-tellers like her can't be bought, silenced, or intimidated. So let's give her flowers for that. And while we're at it, let's stop pretending that the monarchy is above accountability. The world has changed. transparency isn't optional anymore. If they want to call themselves modern, then prove it. Start by holding every member, not just the ones with brown skin, to the same standard. Because, as Dr. Shola said, real duty isn't hiding behind palaces and PR. Real duty is standing for truth, even when it's uncomfortable. So, Sussex's squad, what do you think? Is this the moment the royal house of cards finally starts to wobble? Or will they keep sweeping, spinning and smiling for the cameras? One thing's for sure, the truth always finds its way out, and no title is big enough to bury it forever. If you're as tired as we are of the royal double standards, hit that subscribe button right now and join the Sussex's squad, where we keep it real, raw and unfiltered. Drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about this royal cover-up. Do you think Andrew will ever face true accountability? And don't forget to hit the like button if you stand with truth over privilege and with Harry and Meghan over hypocrisy. This has been Sussex's Squad, your home for honesty, empowerment and the stories the tabloids are too afraid to tell.